There's a lot of buzz about inositol for PCOS, but can a sugar alcohol really change PCOS forever? Well, let's dive into the science and see where we stand. This video is brought to you by a sponsor. We're gonna go over what inositol is, how the evidence has evolved, real-world use, and finally, should you try it? And stick around till the end. We'll look at what's new in 2025. First things first, what is inositol? Inositol is a sugar alcohol. And I know that name, but trust me, this is important. There are 9 isomers of inositol. For simplicity, we'll focus on 2, myo-inositol and D-chiro inositol. Myo-inositol is abundant in nature and plays a role in various cellular processes. Now, D-chiro inositol, while less common, is crucial for our discussion because of its impact on hormone regulation and insulin signaling. The key here is that most studies use a 40-to-1 ratio of myo to D-chiro inositol. Why 40-to-1? Because that mimics what's found naturally in our bodies. So when we talk about inositol, think 40-to-1 unless otherwise stated. Insulin resistance, irregular ovulation, high testosterone. Now let's turn to the evidence. A couple of systematic reviews were published in 2024 and 2025. The 2024 review looked at randomized controlled trials comparing inositol to placebo for women with PCOS who wanted to get pregnant. They found inositol might improve some metabolic measures and ovulation, but it wasn't clear if it made getting pregnant any easier. The 2025 review had similar findings. Inositol seemed to help with insulin resistance, menstrual function, and even androgen levels. But on its own, inositol doesn't seem to improve pregnancy chances much. A group from Flinders University in Adelaide, Australia presented their research at the Fertility Society of Australia meeting in 2025. They analyzed several studies and found that inositol might work in 2 ways. First, it helps with insulin signaling like we discussed earlier. In February 2025, an expert opinion article was published in Dove Medical Press. It suggested that inositol might be useful for women who don't respond well to metformin, which is often the first-line treatment for PCOS. They also proposed that combining inositol with alpha-lactalbumin could help with absorption since alpha-lactalbumin is associated with increased milk production and lactation. Then in April 2025, the Society of Obstetricians and Gynecologists of Canada released practice points. They concluded that the current evidence isn't enough to say if inositol is helpful for women with PCOS trying to get pregnant. However, they did note that inositol seems to be safe and well tolerated. So where does all this evidence leave us overall? The evidence for inositol as a standalone therapy for PCOS isn't super strong. Some studies show benefits, others don't. But here's the kicker, there's no major side effects. Most side effects are mild and related to digestion. Think bloating, gas, diarrhea. Some people have even noted an improvement in mental health. Here's something else that's interesting. About 30% of women seem to be inositol resistant. That means inositol might not be the best option for everyone with PCOS. In these cases, combining inositol with alpha-lactalbumin could be beneficial. Alpha-lactalbumin is a protein found in milk and urine, and is associated with increased milk production and lactation. Together, they might help with absorption. Studies are ongoing to explore this further. So what should you take away from all this? Here are 3 practical takeaways. First, inositol seems to be safe. If you're thinking about trying it, talk to your healthcare provider. Second, inositol might help with certain aspects of PCOS, but it's not a one-size-fits-all solution. Consider your personal metabolic goals, not just fertility. And third, inositol might be helpful for those who can't tolerate metformin or other glucose-lowering medications. Metformin is often the first-line therapy for PCOS. But if you're unable to tolerate metformin due to side effects, inositol might be worth exploring. More research is needed, but early studies suggest that inositol could potentially help with insulin resistance, menstrual irregularities, and androgen levels, all common symptoms of PCOS. Plus, inositol seems to be better tolerated than metformin. Alright, now let's talk about the new 2025 research. A study published in Endocrinology, Diabetes and Metabolism looked at a group of women with PCOS. They found that high glucose levels and insulin resistance might affect how cells use inositol, leading to issues with hormone regulation. This suggests that inositol might be particularly helpful for women with PCOS who have insulin resistance. Another study published in the Journal of Molecular Endocrinology showed that inositol and alpha-lactalbumin combination acts on hormone receptors in fat tissue. This could have implications for women with PCOS who struggle with obesity since excess fat can disrupt hormone balance. Finally, a study in the journal Molecular Human Reproduction explored how inositol influences hormone production in ovarian cells. They found that inositol might stimulate the production of hormones like progesterone, which is important for preparing the body for pregnancy. They also saw an increase in steroidogenic acute regulatory protein. This protein is like a gatekeeper that helps hormones move into the bloodstream. All this suggests that inositol could help with ovulation and hormone balance in women with PCOS. And remember, just because a treatment is natural doesn't mean it's automatically good. The research is still evolving and it's crucial to stay informed. So what does the future hold for inositol? Well, it's looking pretty bright. With more research, we might see inositol become a recommended treatment for certain aspects of PCOS. Alone might not be enough, but as part of a holistic approach, it could be a game changer. And guess what? The studies we talked about today aren't the only ones shedding light on inositol. There's more to know and we'll cover more in future videos. So make sure you subscribe to stay updated. Bottom line, inositol might be a promising addition to the toolkit for managing PCOS, but it's not a magic bullet. Like any treatment, it has its pros and cons. The key is to weigh the evidence. Consider your options and work closely with your healthcare provider to find what works best for you. Remember, PCOS is complex and there's no one-size-fits-all solution. What works for one person might not work for another. So keep an open dialogue with your healthcare team. Stay informed and be an active participant in your health journey. If you're wondering about the different types of inositol or want to learn about the latest research, let me know. Just comment below. Also, if you're curious about specific brands, check out the links in the description. Thanks again for watching. I hope this was helpful. Until next time, stay healthy, stay informed, and stay in charge of your health. And remember, inositol may reshape PCOS support, but it's the evidence, not the hype, that matters. Hey guys, I hope you're enjoying this channel so far and I hope you subscribed already. If you didn't, watch this video right there. I think that will help you too.